positive mindset. My personal opinion is that to be an investor, you need as much positivity as possible. A positive mindset will help you deal with bumps along the way. A little warning, being positive is hard, especially when things get hard. Us humans are wired to think negative, and this is to help us survive. A stressful situation, whether environmental or psychological, can bring on stress hormones that produce physiological changes. This activates the sympathetic nervous system, and this triggers the fight or flight response. Too much stress on the body over a sustained period of time leads to disease. And when you look further into it, we spend far too much time in this state. This fight or flight response used to protect us against predators. Now we are getting this response with modern problems like worrying about your bills or other money issues, for example. This warning is just to drive home the importance of being positive. The following is taken from one of the many Dr. Joe Dispenza YouTube videos I've watched over the last few years. The first thing people do is think about their problems. Those problems are memories that are etched in the brain that are connected to certain people, certain objects, and certain things at a certain time and place. So then all of a sudden they start feeling unhappy. Now the body's in the past because thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings are the language of the body. Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you want to learn the science behind the importance of a positive mindset, go and check out Dr. Joe Dispenza. Read one of his best-selling books or watch one of his many videos on YouTube. What negativity can do to you as an investor? I'm going to tell you what negative thinking done for me up until my mid-30s. Again, to drive the point home, to emphasize the importance of a positive mindset. A 10-year period between 2008 and 2018 is a period of my life I'm not particularly proud of. Let's call it what it was, a negative decade. I was negative about work. I was negative about money. I was negative about people with money. I was negative about investing. There were periods when I brought my negativity home, and this wasn't good enough, not at all. This contributed to me not being an investor during my negative decade. I was the expert on how not to invest. Let's take property, for example. I'd gone from being a very optimistic 19-year-old who bought his very first property, who was going to be a millionaire in a few short years, to a failed investor who didn't buy a rental property for 12 years. I'd let my younger self down and I turned into a miserable version of myself. My glass was half empty as I focused on the negative. I was sick of working offshore, away from my family. I left offshore in 2016 and got a job in the UK onshore. But I was still working away, and after about 6 months, I moved on to a different job to find the balance I craved. This started a period of my life when I moved from job to job, contracting up and down the UK. I wasn't happy. By 2018, I'd had enough of my negativity and realised that I was the only person that could improve my situation. As I said, for some balance and happiness, I stumbled across personal development. I became obsessed with personal development. Videos by the likes of Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, and things started to change. I literally forced myself to be happy. By mid-2018, I'd finally got a job at home and things got better, much better. I forced myself to be happy at work and stopped whinging and moaning at home. I set goals and realised what I wanted in life. Part of this newfound personal development, I'd done a lot of thinking and my self-awareness improved dramatically. Towards the end of 2018 is when I realised how negative I'd been. From this point onwards, I was able to be much more positive. I developed a positive mindset. My perspective changed as I started to smile more, and in general, I was a happier version of myself. I made the most of my time at home and even found it within myself to be happy at work. I was happy with the grind because I knew I was making progress as I started to invest back into property and the stock market. Then later with crypto, I started taking myself less serious and was happy to fail forward. I was able to look back on all of my previous investing mistakes, and I even saw the funny side. I even wrote a book about investing and enjoyed writing about all of my mistakes. If I made a mistake, I didn't take it to heart. I learned my lesson and got on with things. I got into healthy habits which helped me develop my mindset, like taking cold showers for 2 minutes every day. Healthy habits that helped me deal with things I'd previously struggled with. Learning about money helped me understand it, and this led to me being neutral with money. As I learned about money, I stopped worrying about money. So, going from worrying about money and being anxious around it, I learned about it, became neutral around it, and turned a negative habit into a positive habit. And this is because of the newly found financial education I didn't have previously. Replacing negative thoughts with positive self-talk was a big one for me, and it helped me loads. Again, I didn't realise how negative I'd become over the years. With personal development, my self-awareness improved, and this helped me to see what was working and what wasn't. If I was learning about money and investing, I felt like I was making progress, and this makes me happy. I had doubts getting back into property and the stock market, but I was aware that I needed to push on despite being uncomfortable. Serious pain led to some much needed personal development for me. This enabled me to change my mindset and arm me with a positive mindset. Things have massively improved over the last few years. I realised that I needed to get back into investing, and if I didn't, I'd be working until my 60s or my 70s. Please take this on board and learn from my lessons and the fact that you need to adopt a positive mindset. It's so important. Here is a quick summary of the things that have worked for me. 1, a new perspective. I decided my glass would be half full. 2, I took myself less serious, and this has helped me to fail forward. All I ask from myself is 100% effort. I'm not overly concerned about how things play out. 3, healthy habits have made a positive difference to my mindset. 4, positive self-talk has helped balance things out as I was really negative, especially during my negative decade. 5, self-awareness is another important change that's made a positive difference. So that's it for today's video. Keep smiling and be mindful about the importance of having a positive mindset. Ask yourself honestly, is my glass half full? And if not, why not? Anyway, I'll see you on the next video.